Hello and welcome to Pardon the Interception, Season 33 or Week 9 with your hosts Lee Wood,
Nick Taylor,
and Jimbo.
No, go back, we prefer the ball.
I know.
So, let's see what's been going on around the leagues this week. So, start off in the GFL as ever, and so you can see that the Hulk managed to not put a single point up against the Wraiths, which I think Simon called the Hulk beating the Wraiths, if I remember correctly. They were going on the long con. Steelers only just managing to scrape by the Terror. Looks like quite a big game. What jumps out at you, Nick?
Calgary Bulls got a 3-point win over the Wildcats. I know they were there or thereabouts. I feel rusty after 2 weeks off, I'll tell you that much.
It was a whole different year.
It was. Black Knights getting another win. Pretty standard for them.
Quake beating the Hawks.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good result for them as well.
District 12.
District 12 getting a big win there.
So if we look at the stand-ins, we can see that all but two of the leagues have been clinched. So I believe the Wraiths Gunslingers, it's a big week. I don't think the Wraiths can be knocked off that spot. Even if they lose and the Gunslingers win, the Gunslingers have to make up 150-point deficit on differential.
Depends who they're playing, I guess.
Even if they're playing the Hulk.
Which they're not.
Saying the Wraiths aren't going to lose by 70 points.
Yes, yeah, no, I'm going to go on record. The Wraiths will not lose by 70 points.
So
You're also going to have to go on record and say the Gunslingers aren't going to win by 140.
Yeah, I'll go on record with that as well.
Okay.
Bold statement.
Risky business.
Yep. I'll say go down to Vegas, get your mortgages on those odds now. Wraiths to take the AFC West. The Wildcats can, however, take the NFC East.
Can they?
If the Bulls lose, the Wildcats only need to make up a 13-point differential.
Mm.
So
the Bulls are playing the circle. They don't forget.
I didn't say it was likely. I just say they could.
The online circle.
As we know, Bulls don't really like circles, though. We know that from.
Yeah, the circle could be playing for the first win incentive, though.
They are, but yeah, still not.
No, I mean it's the long con for the first win incentive because they're not getting the first. To get the first overall draft pick, they need to lose by 500 points.
Yep.
Plus whatever Gary loses by.
Who are the Wildcats playing?
Wildcats. Firebirds.
Yeah,
they've actually got a hard game.
Okay, the Firebirds will be wanting to win that. Yeah, that's a wild card spot game.
Yes, that is actually a wild card spot game.
I imagine they both make it, though, don't they? Regardless.
No, because the Hawks are 7-2.
The Hawks and the winner of that game.
Oh yeah, the Hawks and that winner. I can see that.
So essentially, the Bulls are locked for a playoff place. We just don't know whether the divisional champs.
I will go on record and say the Bulls are winning the NFC East.
It's a fair assumption. And I guess on the other side of things, the Gunslingers are also pretty much locked. I guess Armadillos and Dragons can get to 7-3.
The point differential, they've got 70 points on the Dragons.
Yeah.
Sorry, 60 points on the Dragons.
I mean,
the Dragons have got to play someone good, Wraiths, I think, as well. So you can probably say the Armadillos are in. Let's check that because maybe they lose and the Mustangs creep in.
I know they both need to lose. So I guess Depends on
The Armadillos playing. The Mustangs playing. Armadillos. Pirates for the Armadillos.
that seems a winnable game.
That's not too bad. Who's the other team I was thinking?
Dragons.
Dragons playing the Wraith, I believe.
Okay, that's
Got it in my head.
That is a tough one then. Yeah.
Wind Wave.
What? So the
Yeah, Dragons at Waves.
so you've got the dragons and the wraiths.
Look at this. Get technical.
Then you've got the
Pirates.
Mustangs are playing the
Oh wait, now you're asking. Mustangs are playing the Feral Dodgers.
Feral Dodgers, and then the Armadillos.
Armadillos are playing the Boston Pirates.
It's going to come down to the Pirates Armadillos. I mean, you'd expect the Armadillos to win that one. But, you never know.
If you've got the 4 champions are in, and then you've got the District 12 are in. That's that. Dragons, Armadillos, Mustangs, that last slot.
So we're looking at Mules, Black Knights, Raiders, Race, Gunslingers, and Armadillos. Is that what we reckon?
I reckon the Armadillos beat out the Dragons for the last spot.
Yeah.
Feels likely.
What's we reckon that these guys make it.
Yep.
And the Armadillos?
Yep.
Yep.
And then over
Had it
here
here
we're
first.
looking at the Hawks.
Yeah.
No, it's between Firebirds and the Wildcats.
And they play this week, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's the winner of that game.
I'm
going
going to say
Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Wow. Well, I'm going to go with Les. I'm a big fan of Les. Having no idea who he is. Hello, Les, if you're listening. Love you.
New favourite team, right? Firebirds.
Yep. I'll be watching that game probably before mine. It keeps happening now. I keep watching other games before I even look at my own.
I still managed to watch mine first. However, the rest of the league then gets put to one side as I go look at the results.
True.
Anything else from the GFL before we move on?
All good.
No, I don't want to stamp.
Got ticks everywhere. Ticking on the top.
Get rid of the tick. And then on to the Atlantic. So in the Atlantic this week, we obviously have the sad news that Conrad is leaving the game. We will get some more breaking news on that as soon as we can.
Quick clarification, Lee. Good Conrad or bad Conrad?
Depends on your perspective, but your question is going to be the bad Conrad, I assume.
The one the Spitfires can't keep up with, right?
But the thing that really jumps out at me here is after an interesting start to the season, our very own Sterling Scorpions seem to have manufactured their way to another win and possibly taking their division.
I think we have taken a division.
No, we haven't looked at the tables yet, but yep.
What I don't understand is I'm fairly sure you clinched your division, but you don't have a C.
Yeah, we were discussing that earlier. I think it's just a thing at the back end that doesn't necessarily tick over until the last games have been played.
So if we look at the
It's a bug report.
tables, here you go, Nick. Let me draw you.
I guess because you're winning on a guaranteed tiebreaker.
Yeah, I don't know whether
You don't get the C. I think that's probably what it is. They haven't bothered coding that because it's painful.
I mean, I've done it.
It's
There you
mostly down to that record's garbage. So why should we give you a C?
Actually, no, because the Spartans have got a C when the Rapiers could win a game and match them on points. So that makes no sense.
That's true.
I think it's
They
because
can't
there's a
match them on record,
2-game
though.
differential in the division.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
guess
think
it
the
doesn't-
logic hasn't worked out that it's a non-divisional game left.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Which could do. It's a bug.
They don't know what the last week holds, even though you can only have 5 games in your division.
And the last week's never a divisional game.
I know. But looking at this,
Anyway,
I think
Okay.
we can safely say from the MSC that the Rapiers make it through.
Are we going straight in? Sure.
Well, yeah, they're locked for their wild card spot, right?
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
then who have the Blues and Sonics got?
Blues. Aztec for the Blues.
so they look pretty good.
And the Sonics have the Royal Berkshire Spartans.
Ooh, tough one. So
Do the Spartans rest though? Have they clinched number
No,
one?
then the Spitfires could take first spot, right?
yeah,
True.
Spitfire's good.
Yes, they can.
Therefore, they have to probably go for that. So the Sonics probably get. So I'm going to guess the Sonics take a last move, the Blues go through, which then opens up for the Meerkats and Nighthawks.
Yeah, Nighthawks. Whoever the Nighthawks got in the last. Hopefully you say Meerkats and that would be sweet. But
Too good, right? Right, Meerkats, Nighthawks. Meerkats have the Nighthawks.
there we go. So we're probably saying, looking at the winner of that game going through. Do you reckon?
Yeah. Feels likely. I feel that the Sonics have no chance.
Yeah, I'm going to go Nighthawks.
Boo! Go Meerkats! It's happening. This is the season. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Where are the Meerkats going, Lee?
just using that one for Nick's pick.
Okay.
They go, and that's the arrow to the playoffs.
I
Yeah.
see.
Then on the other side, obviously the Scorpions are there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward on the other side, bar the Swamp Stallion
Yes,
and
you
the
got-
Generals.
Warriors and Avalanche getting the wild cards.
Yeah.
You got the Sharks
Well,
in the division, probably.
Can
I
you
don't know.
not take the division?
I could. Then the
Same with
Sharks
the
end
Warriors,
up
though.
getting the wild card, so it's much for much.
Yeah. Who are the Sharks playing though?
Their team is a bit beasted at the moment. Is their main
The
problem?
Sharks are probably losing. Well,
They're playing the Heroes.
that's pretty tough for them with
Because the
the
thing
number of
is,
injuries
if the
they've
Their
Sharks
injuries.
if the Sharks lose and you win, Simon, you can take the number 2 seed,
Yeah, I could. It's
which
possible.
actually gives you a bye.
Yeah, I'm aware that's a possibility. I
I'm
just
assuming we're saying the
don't see it
Stingrays make it.
No, they're not. I'm going to beat them this week. I might rest my players and not beat them this week.
even if you beat them,
Even if you beat them, they make it, but they may make it as second place,
Yeah.
yeah,
so basically it's between the Swamp Stallions and the Generals, right?
which is
Yeah.
interesting because if the Stingrays lose to the Scorpions and the Warriors win and Basing win and Sharks lose, Basing can take the number 1 seed.
Yeah, if Nick
Yeah.
wins, I can take the number 1 seed. That is a possibility.
there's still a high chance I'm resting most of my team.
Of that.
And
I wonder why, Nick. I
think
wonder why.
Mostly because of the sheer number of injuries I've had this season.
I think the Swamp Stallions go through.
Who have they got in the last game?
The Swamp Stallions got a really, really, really easy game.
Even if they lose, though, the points differential.
They got a pretty easy game, though, the Swamp Stallions.
Yeah.
The Generals have got the Anacondas.
So they got the Stampede then. Stallion.
Who? Sorry?
Who have the Stallions got?
They got the Avalanche.
Oh, okay, that is an easy game.
Well, easy game.
Yeah, the points differential is probably too much to overcome there. Right? You need 2 40-point swings ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably too much.
I wouldn't be
So-
surprised if the Swamp Stallions beat me.
So yeah, then it just comes down to where people finish in the playoffs, pretty much.
Yeah. Anything else before we move on?
He's boring.
Big Sky. So
You said the Atlantic was boring.
Giant Hornets one, always good.
Buccaneers won.
Yeah.
I think that makes that division quite interesting.
And a
Mount
massive
Dora
loss.
Massive lost by 1 point to the Irish.
I'll give you £1 if you can guess what happened with the rivets.
Another riveting game, I reckon.
Yeah.
They riveted their 39 regular season game streak.
Swarming Giant Hornets beat the Patriots. Shadows beat the Weasels.
So, looking at the standings,
Cool. So all the left
It's-
side have champions, right?
all the left side have champions. And then Hornets are difficult but not impossible to displace.
But they are locked for a wild card. Worst case scenario. Right?
Yes.
Mm.
And then the Sharks and the Buccaneers, if they win, if either win, they're in the playoffs. If they both win, the Buccaneers will make it.
Well, you've
Because
got the
they're-
Rushmores as well on 6 and 3. So if they both win and the Rushmores win,
So the Buccaneers have the 66ers, so you can probably just chalk that up as a win now.
Okay, yeah. I
Seems reasonable.
didn't see the Rushmores here. So
but then if they all win, then Rushmores and
Rushmores
the
are playing the
Sharks will make.
Sharks.
Okay, so only one of them can win, which opens it right up.
That really is open up. Their first seed is pretty interesting as well.
Although
First seed, second seed.
points differential are pretty bad on most of the 5 and 4 teams.
Yeah, the 6 and 3s could all.
So if it's basically if the Sharks lose, it opens it up more than like the Rushmores lose. Their points are probably too much for anyone to overcome.
So I think
Therefore,
we
the
can
Rushmores are
lock the
probably locked.
Rushmores. Yeah,
Loose locked.
yeah. They need to lose big.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then then it's like Sharks, Irish don't. The points differential's probably too big there. I think
Yeah,
the Patriots are probably the most likely ones to do it, right? You've got Patriots and Statesmen, basically.
Patriots are at the massive.
Statesman with a -6 points differential. I don't think it's doable.
Let's then play the Knights.
The Knights, did you say? Oh, they're 4 and 5. Yeah, it's going to be tough to make that up. So we're probably.
Sharks, Rushmore probably both make it.
I'm going Sharks.
Sharks look in the best position.
They
now.
get a star.
Yeah, I'm going to be Star. Nick's going to be Arrow, and Simon can be question mark.
Fine by me.
And so on the other side, we've got Beverly Bay Packers.
That's a lock.
Well, it depends on who the Surfers and Maroons play.
Never bet against the Bay Packers.
I mean, like Central Coast Surfers and Myrtle Beach Maroons both.
Oh, I misread that as 183 as
Yeah.
opposed to 133.
It means they're in the game, so to speak. In Beverly Bay Packers in driving seat. Who have they got for the last game?
Beverly Bay. Surfers.
Okay, so they're playing out for a spot-ish. And then, I mean, the Maroons must have a fairly safe match for them. Because either they're playing the Stormers, Huskies, or the Titans, who don't necessarily need they don't need a win. I guess they need a win to stay above Newcastle. Who are the Maroons playing?
Maroons. The Maroon. Huskies. So Bay Huskies.
Okay, so I'd say Beverly Bay Packers and Myrtle Beach Maroons are the two wild carders.
The Myrtle Beach Maroons.
Yeah. Look at that points differential. I mean, it's just like
Comes down to that Bay Packers Surfers match. Surfers win when they're in.
yeah. I mean, I think either way, the Maroons make it. Right?
Do they? Yeah. So
I guess they finished.
assume a world where the Surfers beat the Bay Packers, that knocks the Maroons out.
No, it doesn't.
No,
because
because the Bay Packers then have lost and their points are worse than.
Yeah, but they'll be on 7-3, and if the Maroons lose, they'll be. Oh, okay, yeah, they could get 7-3 and beat.
Look, I feel it's pretty hard for the Marines to lose, and therefore they should.
Yeah, good point.
It should come down to the Beverly Bay Packers versus Central Coast Surfers for that.
Yeah, okay.
Last wild card spot. I feel anyway.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you
And if they draw, then all sorts of things can happen.
if they draw, it becomes very. If they draw, then the Packers take it, I think.
Yeah. I think if they draw Marines, Packers.
Simon's just highlighted this champion in as dark colour as he can.
there. No, I'm trying to delete them so we can't see them. make the league a bit more interesting, right?
I mean,
Boring when you already know the bowl champion.
You can just draw a box like that, right?
Okay, there you go. Show me how it's done.
Titans are going to take it this year.
Then you can move it around. What would the league look like without the Rough Riders?
What would the league look like without the 46-game winning streak of the Venice Ribbits?
Anything else before we move on to the Continental?
Now we can have a look at the Continental.
Needed to move back to mouse. Right, Continental. So scores, stats.
Arctic Badgers.
Badgers badgering on.
Badger,
Bombers
badger,
beating the
badger.
Hangers. Is that as big a deal as I think it is?
It's not a bigger scoring game as the last one.
No, that was that the game that was like 71-70 or something.
Yeah, they both scored 70 points. I believe it was that game anyway.
Let's have a look.
Mind you, the Angels have scored 86 points this week.
No, it wasn't that game.
No, I misremember it. It must have been the Angels. The Angels seem to have like some ridiculous amount of points scored. They won 86-21 this week.
And the Classics winning.
Zulu's lost.
Yeah, that's quite big against the Trojans.
Yeah, that's that might open things up a little bit. Monarchs and Eagles.
Have a look at the standings then, unless there's any other games you want to talk about the scores of.
I just wanted to see the Angels game. We can come back to that though.
Yeah, we can come back to that. So,
Get mildly intrigued by these huge scores.
So, thank you, Simon, for stamping the Champinos. So I looked at this earlier. I think the UFC
Whoa.
South, I think the Trojans, the Zulus, and the Westies are all guaranteed playoff berths.
There's no second people with 6, so I
Correct.
think. Oh, actually no, because no, ignore me.
That's
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
correct. Everyone's 2 games ahead in the wild card race, right?
Yeah.
The only ones that aren't locked to the Miami Destruction. There's the Ravens and the
but
Venom.
What I love about this is we can have a division where 3 teams go 8-2, and the other team goes 0-10.
Yeah.
Just
What is it like with that
bananas.
happening?
Very low, I would have thought, because they
Trojans
must
play
have.
the Ravens.
And then we can also say the Bullets are locked as well at that point. Right.
Zulus play the Venom. Westies play the Thunder. Seems to be a UFC South versus UFC East off.
Okay.
Yeah, the last week is always a division versus division.
Oh, is it? Didn't realise that.
So they all get to decide each other's places in the division.
Apart from the
Mexican's-
Destruction, who get the Bucks County Banditos, I assume.
I mean, if they're playing the Banditos, then they're just through, right?
If they're playing the Banditos, I'm giving them a big tick.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. There we go. Right hand side done. Easy.
Yeah.
Simple.
I mean, left hand side's pretty close to being done. We've got the Reavers are a game ahead. So who are the Reavers playing?
Reavers.
I mean, the Wasps
Bullets.
can't make it. Points differential's too bad.
Reavers are playing the Bullets. And the Bullets could throw that if they want
Yeah.
to. Then who could?
Timberwolves can overtake them, right? Timberwolves can overtake Reavers.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
The thing is, there's
That's just the
nothing.
Wasps again.
There's nothing for the Bullets to play for in that game.
Yeah.
So they're better off resting.
I mean, we're probably looking at the Reavers making it here, right?
Timberwolves playing the Patriots.
I mean, Timberwolves are probably winning their game.
Yeah. The Bullets might just want to win their
guess
game just because though, right?
Yeah, they might do, but I'm going to assume that they're going to rest because I don't think they can even improve their playoff position.
No, they cannot. It's a kind of a useless game for the Bullets.
Yeah, you might as well.
Well,
just
aren't they playing for like 5th or 6th seed?
Yes.
Does that
so-
matter too
I
much?
know they cut their guarantee. I know they're not guaranteed because
Changes what side of the bracket you're on.
Yeah, I think there's two big teams anyway. That doesn't.
But I
Like,
still
this
think
is-
you're better off resting.
Yeah, I think this conference has two 9-0 teams, two 7-2 teams, so it doesn't really matter which
Yeah.
side you end up on. That's my gut feeling. I mean,
I'm going to put some question mark on. One of those could make it if the Bullets decide to play.
Wasps are on -80. They can't make it.
I have faith in Reach Egan scoring 90 odd points.
Considering that they've only scored 249 points all season, Simon, it's unlikely.
unlikely but doable.
They are
Correct.
obviously playing the Monarchs, who are fighting for nothing. So
Monarchs might well put out their under level 5 players.
you never know, though.
Could happen.
Yep.
But yeah, the Timberwolves might be the more likely of the two. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
Right. Then we wanted to take a look at ticking all over the place.
The Stamp.
Angels have scored a lot of points from a 4 and 5 team. Well, they didn't even get the most yards in the game. They only turned up for half the game.
To be fair, they turned up for one quarter. Then the backups played for a quarter. Then they just didn't put anybody out.
That's
We went full Antonio Brown.
that's crazy.
Oh, that was absolutely hilarious.
It's like not playing third and fourth quarter. Screw that shit.
Have you seen that someone's already on the internet taken it and put a New York Jets cheerleader uniform on him?
No.
Yeah,
Nice.
Strong.
62 points in the first quarter.
Just 86-0
Yeah.
half time. Right?
I
See you later,
tried-
lads.
Hang on. No. I tried to lose this game for a better draft pick. You tried to lose a game, but you scored 62 points in the first quarter.
Let's have a look at the play-by-play.
There's a lot of turnovers as well.
Bish, bash, bosh. Yeah. Nice big drive.
Oh,
40-yard
lost
shot.
it straight away on the take possession, drop the ball, touchdown.
Followed by
oh,
might as well be
got
a pick.
sacked, lost the ball, fumble, returned for a touchdown. All right.
Yeah. Got the
Okay.
ball in the red zone, delivered it.
They just couldn't move the ball. Kilwinning
red
just
zone.
couldn't move the ball at all.
Got the ball in the red Got the ball in the red zone. Fumbled the ball in the red
It's
zone.
like two plays every time. Oh dear.
Oh, there's a touchdown.
Sacked.
Hang on. Kilwinning Wills take possession. -2 yards return.
Yeah, they
They
sacked.
fumbled it in the
They
sack.
sacked.
They recovered the
Yeah.
sack.
Yeah.
Instant touchdown. On a field goal. Field goal.
Just not good enough.
Disgusting.
Just didn't fancy at that time. Bam. Touchdown. Well, that one took a little bit longer.
Now, what I will say is you usually want your players to wear kit because it's required by the rules.
But once you're 70 points up,
True.
what does the rules even mean?
Oh, interception. Here we go. Kill winning and get some yards.
That's something I didn't know you could do.
What's that?
Brought up a pop-up window by clicking on something.
How did you do that?
I
I've never
don't
seen that
know.
before either. Formations pop up.
Do it again.
Yeah,
Learn something new every day.
yeah. Didn't know that was a thing. I think it's because there were substitutions there. Yeah, because there were subs. Change of formation. You can then bring up a pop-up to change what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
I'm assuming you just got to 86-0 at half time.
And I'm going to assume that R&R are going to tell us that they put this in 8 years ago and we're the first people to ever use it.
Probably. So he came out after half time and kill winning like, oh, we don't really fancy this anymore. And then like for the fourth quarter, they're like, out you go, kids. And it all went wrong.
I'm amazed he was trying to lose this game. I think he needs to have a conversation with Gary Lyon about how to lose games.
I mean,
Yes.
And they can go, Hulk. Speaking, just talk to Gary. He'll sort you out.
I mean, if you're trying to lose a game, I don't see enough first game jitters.
you need to put them all in the wrong position as well.
Yeah, why not?
And not do any stances.
Yeah,
No, you do
Much
want
like
to do
this.
stances. You
the wrong
put in-
stances.
Yeah, exactly. You put running stances in against the passing team.
Triple man coverage. That might be...
Also,
Oh.
this is a great name for an offense.
If the 3-5 against, I'm assuming that was a deep pass.
No, they were running short passes for like 70 yards.
Oh, okay.
So a 3-5 makes sense.
Oh, it's because the stacking in Manning, no coverage, right?
Yeah, they've got no
Cover zero?
coverage, and then
Cover-
they've
So
got no
cover
line,
zero.
no line, and no coverage.
Yes, because there's no line, there's no coverage. He's got 3 gaps covered, and
No, because all of these guys would have dropped into coverage because there's no bracket.
Okay,
I would now. Okay, that's not so bad.
no line still. Is that the-
Because
Interesting.
man only works with bracket, doesn't it?
Can't
It,
remember.
it is supposed to anyway with bracket. I don't know whether it removes them and puts them back in zone though. But I think if you put them in, I think you're right. It should put them back into zone. I don't know whether it just sets like 1 versus 1.
Yeah, but that's how you lose the game. Actually, doing something like that when you know it's the wrong thing to do.
Right. Shall we move on to the Delta?
Yeah, let's move on to the Delta. You've subscribed. Thank you.
No, twice. So Biloxi managing to unsurprisingly win, keep their vague playoff hopes alive. Venom managed to beat the Cyclones.
Sun Blazers, Patriots. That was a
Sun
good
Blazers,
game.
Patriots.
Jumped
Yes,
down to the bottom there.
it's a much bigger game, and Copperheads beating the Colts was quite big as well.
Yeah.
But the Copperheads got a little bit beat up.
Robert Barron's lost. To the
Yes, because of their quarterback. Fury
Jorvik
beating the
Jets.
Silverbacks.
You can play man without a bracket league, by the way.
Oh, you can. Is it bracket?
Yeah.
You can't play
You
without
can't play
man.
bracket without a man.
Okay,
So they all
couldn't
just go
remember.
level versus level with no coverage.
Yeah, correct.
That is a rough state to be in sometimes.
I don't know.
So
Does man affect coverage? I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, if you put them in man, that you need them in zone for the cover.
Okay. There is some of the stances that still give you coverage.
You just back your cornerback to be better than their wide receiver, essentially.
Yeah. Actually, there's a way to check this. You just make one with
Ideally,
I
you want
man to change
You want man
coverage.
and bracket, ideally. And you need some high level players to do that.
Cover
as well.
three.
So Kendall actually has won his league. So has Michael.
And the Warriors are sure as well, right?
Warriors are guaranteed, yes.
Then it comes down to the Venom.
Warriors could take a massive drubbing, right?
Warriors can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but they can't lose a playoff berth.
No, there's only 1 6 and 2 6 and 3 teams, but one of them's going to win the division. So who have you got this week, Simon?
Question. Oh, I never know who I've got. It's always like a nice little surprise whenever I log on and do a game plan. Got the Plague.
Okay.
Hot off of their win.
Yeah.
The Cyclones have
They
Rob
need to
Barron.
win. They don't need a win so much.
Yeah.
The Plague will want to win for the outside chance of getting that playoff spot.
And the Robber Barons will want to win because if the Robber Barons will lose because if they lose, it means that it's harder for Simon.
Trying to make my life easier.
There's a lot going on. I think like who the Zeppelin got?
Yeah, the Zeppelin are interesting, aren't they?
Zeppelin must be playing someone from the GFC South.
Because they have the best differential.
Zeppelin have
points
Loyola.
difference. Okay. Who don't need to play this week, right?
They do for
I
number
guess
one
they
seed.
Cougars could catch them, right?
Ish.
Well, if they lose by 20 and the Cougars win by 30, that's them lost the number one seed.
Cougars win by 23. No, it's like pretty tenable, right?
You know, that's a very reasonable thing to happen, especially if you play a give up team. I would say you're expecting to lose by 20 to 30 points.
You can go lighter on like one of your.
You can rest a couple of stars, but you can't do a full rest.
Yeah. Oh, you can't do a full rest for sure. But I'm saying there's more chance there than normal for the Zeppelin.
Yes, they're going to be playing at least a 95% roster, I would say.
So we're probably. It feels like Venom Cyclones probably gonna make it. Just for being
I'm happy to go
ahead of
with
the
that.
game. I mean, the Plague I don't think they can make up enough points, really. I think that's their problem.
And
The Plague need to make a lot of points. They need to beat
you by 35 points or something.
So it's a 70 point, 71, so 36.
Yeah.
So he's win by 36, which is possible, probably unlikely.
It's unlikely if you're playing a full strength roster.
Yeah, so that's why they're not done. The Enigma are playing the Wyverns.
The Enigma
have resigned as well. So
they are playing the Wyverns, who've got 361 points against, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Enigma could rack up a lot of points.
They'd have to rack up quite a few.
They could definitely get there. Depending
it's
on
possible, but unlikely. And then what do you say Zeppelin are playing?
Well, the Wyverns have conceded. The Wyverns have conceded on average about 40 points a game.
About 30 points.
Only 9 games, not 10. I did that mistake first as well.
31 points a game.
Yeah.
Is that right? No, that's their points differential. I'm looking at the difference rather than the scored points.
Yeah, they've allowed about 40 points a game.
Yeah.
Which helps, right? But probably not enough.
I don't know. You only need one.
The Zeppelin are the interesting one, aren't they? Because if Dollar decides to rest,
it just comes down to
Aaron will not do a full rest.
No,
probably do a partial rest.
But the Zeppelin only need a win. They don't need to make up points.
Exactly, that's why it's interesting. Right? If they just edge Loyola by 1 or something.
But thing is, Aaron will want to win because that number 1 seed is huge.
True.
Yeah.
especially when the Coug is playing either the Metros or the Hornets.
Yeah.
Metros. So the Coug got a bye.
So that, therefore, I think Venom and Cyclones are the most likely.
Yeah.
Having that extra game ahead already helps.
The
a
Hoff
lot.
has the self-proclaimed King of the North.
VFC.
Ooh.
So
This looks like more of a mess. I say mess. I mean, it needs a lot of.
who have the Rogues got this week?
Enlightenment.
So the Rogues
So-
can go to 6-4.
So who have the Colts got? Have they got the Jets or have they got Massacre / Titan?
They've got Massacre Titans, and the Colts are winning.
Colts
Okay,
got Titans. Yeah.
So we'll put the Colts
Oh,
through.
the Colts have got Titans, they're winning.
Okay. So of the Centurions, who have they got?
Massacre.
So they're likely to go to 6 and 4 as
06
well.
4.
Yes.
So you can what are the Patriots playing? Katanas,
Hmm.
who are on a rest week.
So
Interesting.
Patriots are in a reasonable spot there.
I
did
would
you
say
say
the
the Rogues?
Patriots.
It'd be amazing if he doesn't rest. It should open the door
Lee
for the
Lee
Patriots.
will rest, which means the Patriots make it through.
Mm.
As far as
Unless
I'm
the
concerned.
Rogues win by more. Because they're playing the Enlightenment, which we're giving up
Yeah, like the
Good
Rogues
point,
can
actually.
potentially do it. Yeah.
35 points a game or so.
It's going to be a shootout between Patriots and Rogues by the looks of it.
Mm.
The Mariners need to make up too many points, I think, based on those fixtures.
Who have the Mariners got?
Well,
Assume like the Fury or Kansas City, I guess.
it will be someone from that division, which is
Silverbacks.
probably it's
So-
not going to be enough
Yeah.
points to make up. I don't think.
If you beat the Silverbacks, you tend to have you don't tend to win by huge scores.
Yeah, they'll
Although
put-
they've conceded a lot of points.
Yes, the games have a lot of points scores, but the differential's not huge.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you concede a lot of points, there is that potential to lose big.
That is true.
But yeah, the Mariners are definitely like the outside 100-1 chance of making it sort of
But the
thing.
Centurions have a chance as well.
Who have they got?
The Massacre.
I think they've got
Yeah.
too many points to make up, just based on the
Possibly.
other matches. But you'd expect one of the Rogues or the Patriots to win and win reasonably well, which
Thing is,
means they're going to need to just score and win by 80 or 90 points or something.
Whoever's playing the Titans has a big advantage because the Titans just don't score.
That's the Colts. That's why I've already put a tick on.
Yeah, we ticked up the Colts early.
Even though they're not necessarily, if they're playing a decent team, it'd be really interesting. Right?
Yeah, and they're a wild card because they can't catch Kendall.
Yep. Kendall Mint Cake.
So,
I think because I'm playing for second. I'm in second seed at the minute, so I thought this game between me and Kendall was going to come down to who made second seed, but an unlucky injury on Kendall's running back has made him an angry Kendall.
and nobody wants to mess with an angry Kendall.
I mean, it's the only Kendall we ever see. So
I think I'm going to go Patriots just because they're slightly ahead of everyone else. 12 points is 12 points.
Yeah.
Grand scheme of things.
Got to get the win though.
Well,
Get
They
some
should.
resting Katanas.
assuming
I want to
Katana's
go.
rest.
I want to go Deb just because Deb's been so close on so many years now.
True. Yeah, we are forecasting another close one for Deb because of Lee's resting. So Deb, blame Mr. Elkins.
Yeah.
You're not making the playoffs. Bang on his door and tell him he's
Get on that Delta Meteor and complain. Have a
So-
word.
Have a word, bruv. Have a word. Anything else before we move on to the Empire?
It just looks like a lot of open wildcard spots in the Delta.
Okay. So, what scores have we got here?
Russians is a big win.
High Hunters beating the Claymores by a single point.
District 12 Storm lost.
That's against the R cubed. That's big.
Yeah.
I remember us talking a lot about that and saying that was a huge game that R cubed had to win.
Yeah, and they did. Thunder and Herd got absolutely mauled.
By Boise Power. An excuse to say Boise.
Boys.
The Russians Lions game is the big thing there, I think.
That's a statement road win as well.
Red Bulls go marching on, scoring another 60 points. Casually hammering their way to the playoffs.
Should we look at the standings?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So let's get out the ticks of doom. Bam, 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 bam.
Bam. Whoa.
High Hunters are locked.
Yeah. See, that's why the Russians Lions game was big.
Thunder and Herd are locked.
Yeah, I think Herd rested this week because they can. Rogues are locked, I believe.
Rarotonga.
Rough Riders are close to locked. I mean, the Hornets need to make up quite a few points.
I'm
Good
gonna
playing. Can we go for a soft lock?
So I think
That's the
I
question.
think we're pretty much it in the PFC East.
Rush Rangers have the Monarchs.
Who
let's
have
have the
also
Thundering Herd.
Monarchs have left the game.
Monarchs,
You look at the hats. I love the hats.
hats.
Hats are the best.
The other side looks pretty open though.
Hmm.
Like the BFC West is straight, like sort of straight shootout between whoever Russians and whoever the Russians and Lions have. Then you've still got the Gorillas and the Patriots. 6 and 3.
Oh, you've learned how to do the actual boxes now.
Yeah, finally.
I mean, there's an outside chance the 5 and 4s can make it in,
Yeah, that's why I had to leave them on.
but games depending, I guess.
Skogmeister General can still make it.
Go on, Scott.
Unlikely, but theoretically possible.
Now we have to look at who all these people are playing tonight.
So who are the Patriots playing?
Patriots are playing the Griffins.
I don't see their names anymore.
Good point. Box is getting in the way.
Is it under this
Griffins
box?
are 0-9, so the Patriots are winning.
Patriots look like they'll be 7 and 3. Gorillas
So we
must
can
be
put
playing.
yeah, we'll take the Patriots.
Gorillas.
I don't think we can definitely tick the Patriots. I mean, like,
If they go, they're playing an 0-9 team that have
Yeah,
scored
but there's
35
7-3,
points.
right?
there's
Oh, it could be a load of
Robertson's
7 and 3 today. Good
7-3.
point.
Good point.
Good
Yeah.
point, Nick. Good point, my mate.
I mean, the Gorillas are on minus 12 points difference.
Yes, but you still got the Lions or the Russians, right?
So
Or the Russian.
the Russians and Lions must play in the BFC North then, right?
Templars for the Russians, Tomahawks for the Lions.
So the Russians should
Just
take
delete
the
the boxes.
division, right?
Can I delete the boxes?
Thank you. So we expect the Russians to beat the Templars, right?
Mm,
I mean, the Russians are racking up a fair number of points as well.
yeah.
Yes.
So the Russians are
means-
probably a lock for the division, you could say.
That's what we're going with.
Yeah. Their divisional record, those 2 wins. I think those 2 wins against the Lions. I want to say they played them twice. They're pretty big there. So then the Lions are playing the Tomahawks. Did you say?
Yeah.
Tomahawks will still want to win because they're 5 and
Yeah.
4. If they win, Gorillas lose. They make it in. Is that right?
Possibly.
I mean, just for their points difference.
The Patriots would then make it.
Yeah, I think
Guaranteed.
we probably put a tick next to Patriots at that point. And
There is
No.
a mathematical possibility they don't make it.
yeah, But
Although
think just 'cause of
90% locked or something.
I mean, their matchup is it should put them to 7 and 3, right?
Yeah, which then beats out the 5 and 4s.
Yeah.
But if the Gorillas and the Lions manage it,
Yeah. So then, who do the Gorillas have?
Gorillas.
So I think the Patriots then are more locked because of the points difference.
High Hunters for the Gorillas.
Okay, so I mean the Gorillas have a minus 12 points difference. So let's say they all win. The Gorillas are going to have to make up 80 points in their win.
Yep, so they're probably not going to make
which
it.
isn't going to really happen.
So then wipe out the Gorillas.
It depends. Like if the Gorillas win and the Lions lose, because the Lions have got to play the Tomahawks, right? And the Tomahawks will want to win because if they win and the Gorillas lose, they make it in.
Sorry, who are the Gorillas playing? Are they playing the High Hunters?
The Gorillas are playing Jacksonville High Hunters, yeah.
Yeah. Jacksonville High Hunters.
They don't need to play. Really.
Yeah, no, they can rest because
they
are.
Get number they 2 are. Seed. They could if Jaguars lose. Jaguars.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, I think I prefer resting there, but then
especially if Pat's still got an injury.
Yeah, but then I mean, if they rest, then it's going to come down to whether the Lions can beat the Tomahawks.
Person Pat recovered.
Let's just say they don't rest, and they semi-rest, and Gorillas have a reasonably tough game. Then the Tomahawk, I think the Tomahawks Lions game is big no matter what. That Tomahawks points difference could well get them. It certainly gets them within a Gorillas loss of making the playoffs anyway. It's an interesting one.
It's gonna be interesting who makes that last playoff spot.
Yeah.
Likely knocked out in round 1 of the playoffs, but
I've quite liked the Lions defensively. It's just whether they can put enough points on the board. I mean, their biggest downfall, I think they've lost 2 games to the Russians, which is pretty big for the Lions in terms of how things have gone. But in general, they've looked pretty decent. So I don't know. It looks like it'll be a close round with the Tomahawks. Tomahawks don't tend to concede too many points either. That'll be an interesting game to watch.
Is there a possible scenario we can dream up where the Skogmeister makes it?
I don't think so.
Who's he coach of? Sorry,
the Aurora Tigers. Yeah.
So you'd need the Patriots to lose, I think, at that point to have any chance. Only because the Tomahawks would have to then win, right? So then the Tigers would have to overtake someone else, which would have to be the Patriots because they've got the closest points difference.
Yeah.
And then the Tigers would have to overcome like a 50 points.
Yeah.
Between them and the Patriots.
They are playing the Wranglers, so it's doable.
I mean, anything.
Zane Randy. There's
probably a few percent chance of Randy making it.
Yeah. Zane Randy. There's Bob Speakman as well. The Thunder.
And Ken Dean at the Gamblers. Man, we can put them all in the same division.
Yeah, it should be an interesting last day in the BFC. Lots of different scenarios there. All comes down to whether Jacksonville High Hunters rest or not, really. Because if they rest their players, the Gorillas going through. Bar a Lions win.
Okay. Right. Anything else before we move on? Okay. With that, does anybody have any parting words before we go into week 10?
Who's winning on the hats?
Who's winning on the hats? You want a review of the hats?
I love the hats. Hats are the best.
Review of the hats.
Who doesn't love the hats?
And now for the hat review.
As Lee accidentally shows his whole squad.
That's why I'm doing it on the Empire. GFL coming in with 23. Strong,
Okay.
strong.
Good start.
Atlantic coming in with 24, because I count resigned teams as
Yeah, that's fair.
confirmed.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll take that. So one ahead.
Big
Oh, we got our
Sky.
answer on the Sonics there, by the way.
Yeah,
I didn't think Hosey would be coming back,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah, but we were discussing it last week, right?
Yeah.
That's our answer. The Stingray is crown hat, controversial.
19 for the Big Sky, because the caretaker counts.
hmm
Come on, Big Sky. You can do better. I know you've got Comrade. But
20 for the Continental.
better.
24 for the Delta. We're tying
Ooh.
with the Atlantic. I mean, it's all the same coaches, so.
The same 24 coaches, of course.
And then 19 for the Empire. Not too bad. Not too bad, given that it's only the first week of renewals.
So what
yeah,
we
and we're
say
on a
is
Wednesday.
the Atlantic and the Delta are the two best leagues, right?
I mean, I renewed, I think, yesterday or today. Let's see. I know Simon, you had already renewed.
I did mine
Yep,
on
Nick.
Monday, I think.
I don't know. I thought Stingrays was you. Why do I get Stingrays and Scorpions confused? I was like, why are you brown?
I do that a lot as well, because Conrad used to coach the Stingrays back in the day as well.
Yeah, and I traded a bunch of players with Conrad first up. I think I took his quarterback and a wide receiver or something. Good old Troy Tempest.
But yeah, so and then just looking at the movements, college, too many teams.
No one cares about college now.
Monarchs, as I said, are leaving. Enigma are leaving from the Delta. Banditos.
Oh, we're
from
losing the
Continental.
Enigma.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me massively.
The Enigma, that's the Enigma.
Devils in the Big Sky. Red Coats and Sonics in the Attic. No, I mean, apart from Comrade, nothing I'd call shocking there.
Good to see a lot of sign-ups early on, though.
Yes, that is good for the health of the game. Why it's got a Wild West theme, I still have no idea.
Hats are back.
You should mix up the hats. See, I wore a hat today just for this.
Strong.
I didn't. It just happened to have a hat on, but
I thought we'd finally got that lucrative Under Armour sponsorship deal.
not yet. We're getting there. Now that we've got the pens out and the ticks out, I think ESPN will be knocking on the door.
Telestration. I mean, actually, speaking of telestration, it was sad to hear the passing of one of the people that led the way in use in telestration in sport last week. Madden unfortunately passed. A legend of gridiron that even people that never watched American football have heard of. So Simon's pretending he's never heard of John Madden, which is a blatant lie.
I try.
Simon, I've played the Madden football games with you. You can't put that one past me.
Yeah, I can.
Has anyone got anything else before we call this to a close?
Good luck in the last week of the season. Look forward to next week's playoff schedules, and we can go through them and do our predictions. See who's the best out of us three. Of course. So,
good luck to Glenn Oates. Glenn, you're gonna be amazing this week. Gonna be the best team in the Delta, Glenn.
Got the best quarterback in the league.
Oh, the
this
best
we go.
Best quarterback in the league. He's gonna get so many yards this week. Such a good team, the Robin Lions.
And it's goodbye from me.
goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.